Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Tom Morgan Drum Studio. Today we're going to do another video on the Ted Reed Syncopation book, which we've talked about in several videos now. This is it. And hopefully you've gone through the earlier videos on this and maybe worked on some of these exercises, but I want to kind of show you the next step or another way of utilizing this book to practice jazz independence. So we're going to be back on page 38, but again, if 38 is too difficult for you, you can always go back and start earlier in the book and do these same exercises. They'll work there too. So what we're going to do today is develop a triplet vocabulary between our bass drum and left hand, or actually could be between other limbs as well, to do as we're playing time. So in the past we went through it just playing the rhythms while we played the ride pattern, playing it with our left hand or snare drum, playing it with the bass drum, playing it with the hi-hat, and then we started to divide up the notes and play the eighth notes with one limb and the bass drum and the quarter notes and tied eighth notes and dotted quarters with another limb. And so now we're going to start to fill in all the triplet notes. So I've got this little sheet here that I want to show you to hopefully make it a little more clear. This is the first measure of page 38 in the Ted Reed book. And I like this measure because it gives us 3 out of the 4 possible sticking patterns. So you notice that any note that's on a downbeat is going to fall on the first note of the triplet. Any note that's on an and or upbeat is going to fall on the third note of the triplet. The middle note of the triplet in this system will never be played. It will always be just a fill note in the way we're doing it now. So our 4 possible sticking patterns are listed here. The first one, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and with your right playing the line out of the Ted Reed book and your left hand filling in the holes, or left, if we're thinking about our hands, the left would fill in the holes. So that's this one up here. If you had straight eighth notes all the way across the or across the measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you'd use this sticking all the way across. If you just have quarter notes on the downbeats, then you'd use right, left, left, because the right is going to fall on the downbeat on the number. And then if you have this rhythm with just the eighth note falling on the and, then you're going to use left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Okay? And then if there's just a quarter rest, then your left hand, if we're thinking hands, is just going to fill in all 3 of the triplet notes. And that's it. There are no other possibilities using this system. Okay, so you really have to practice to start out just those 4 stickings. And we're going to do it between the bass drum and left hand. So let's take each of those stickings and practice them individually first. So if I just play, let's take the easiest one, right, left, left, with the bass drum playing right on the downbeat and then the left hand filling in the other 2 triplet notes. Okay, so let's try that while we play the ride pattern. 1, 2, a 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3, 4. Okay, so that's not too hard. You can practice it very slowly, like we've talked about in other situations. Just working out each part of the triplet and where it falls with the right hand. Take your time, do it slowly. Don't try to just, dive in and beat your head against the wall. Give yourself time to learn it, okay? So if we did the reverse of that, left, left, right, that would be if the note falls on the and, or the third triplet note. So you're... Okay, so let's try that with the ride cymbal pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let's try the next one, a little bit more difficult for some people, where it would be the right, left, right, right, left, right, right. So it would sound like this. Okay, so let's put that with the ride cymbal. 1, 2, ready, go. So my left hand is just playing the middle note of the triplet each time. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, like that. So that takes some practice. Again, don't go too fast, just give yourself a break. The last one is nothing more than just playing the triplet all with the left hand. So we put that with the ride pattern. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so we can work on those 4 stickings separately like that. And then what I would do is do the same thing but put the hi-hat in next. So we're going to do them all. I'll just do them all kind of in a row. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we've practiced these, now we're ready to start doing page 38, assuming we have all these down. And so what I do and what I have students do is just take one measure at a time and maybe even work it out just one count at a time if you have to. Practicing the stickings ahead of time and getting those going will make it a lot easier for you to begin to jump into page 38. But I'll just go ahead and play the first 4 lines of page 38 between the bass drum and left hand. So my bass drum is playing the page 38. My left hand is filling in all the other triplet notes. All right? I'll play 4 bars at a time first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the basic idea. And then as you get that going, you work your way through all 8 pages of the book doing that. Now, when you first start out, you may have to work each measure out individually, like I said. But once you work out a few measures and kind of your brain starts to learn how to do it, you'll probably be able to just eventually start doing it for the most part. Of course, there's a lot of repetition in these pages, so you'll see things over and over again. But each page presents its own particular challenge, and so eventually you want to get to where in your practice period you can just play through all 8 pages, boom, as a warm-up. Now, one byproduct of this is it's going to really help your bass drum, because the bass drum, your whatever foot you're using, if you're right-handed like me, your feet are not as coordinated as your hands, obviously, and so we think about getting our bass drums faster, and we want to practice our bass drum really fast, but that's not really what we need. What we need is accuracy with the bass drum. Being able to put the bass drum right where it's supposed to be for every note. And so making it articulate these intricate patterns and coordinate it with the left hand on the snare is really, really great exercise, really, really great technique builder. It'll come out in a lot of other things. Now, another thing to say about this is, what's the application musically? Well, if you listen to a lot of jazz, if you listen to drummers like Elvin Jones, Roy Haynes, some of the, pioneers in what was looked upon in my day as modern jazz, you'll hear this kind of stuff happening all the time. Now, you would never want to play it just constantly, like when we're practicing it out of the book. You're not going to have just constant rolling triplets going on, not if you want to have any gigs, okay? No one wants to play with that. But to be able to use it musically, just to throw in various places, as you master this and it becomes more a part of just what you do and how you think when you play, you can do things like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I just threw it in here and there. When you're playing in a musical setting with other people, if this is part of your vocabulary and this is something that's become ingrained in you, you'll just find it coming out. It'll just like when you're expressing yourself verbally, just different words come to you. And that's kind of how this is. Now, one last thing is you could also practice it. We can practice this many different ways. Just your own limitation is your own imagination. But just a simple thing that you could do would be to, instead of using your bass drum to play the line, you use your hi-hat. And you fill in the triplets with your left hand with the hi-hat. So I'll just leave out the bass drum, but you'll get the idea here with the ride cymbal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That a little more, but you get the idea. And again, go through all 8 pages of it that way. So that's going to really develop your hi-hat. And I'm using kind of a bouncing leg approach. You have to be able to play the hi-hat that fast. Someday I'll do a video on hi-hat technique and show you what I'm talking about. But basically you get up on your toe and kind of a tap dance type of motion there with your left foot. Okay, so I remember when I first heard about this, I just flipped. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I practiced it all the time, and it really changed the way I played. So hopefully you'll find it inspiring and that you'll just keep practicing it and it'll become part of your playing. All right, if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. There'll be a lot more videos like this coming down the pike, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.